Hey everybody, it's me again, Jacques Belliveau, here with the Millennial Depression Comedy Podcast. First off, thank you guys for tuning in, and thank you so much for being patient with me as I sporadically release these podcasts into the world, just with my busy schedule, working multiple jobs and whatnot, and dealing with my own issues. Sometimes it's tough, but I'm sure you guys can understand that. This week, I have my first guest that I have never actually met before I interviewed them. A brilliant young woman, artist, goes by the name Emma Duncan. I don't know if you guys know her, but I had never met her before this interview, which was really cool. She follows the Reggie film on Instagram and the Facebook and whatnot, and that's how we came to do this interview.
Singing, so I'm not gonna sing you a song. And that's my sentence. So.
I've been recording that whole thing, so it's
cool.
Yeah, I feel like I like to do that with all of them. Just give you a false sense of security, and then just go for it.
Oh yeah,
that's my MO.
That feels good.
Okay, good. So welcome back to the Millennial Depression Comedy Podcast. I am your host, Jacques Belliveau, and with me today is somebody that I had never met until like 20 minutes ago or so.
Oh, yeah.
Emma Duncan, how are you doing today?
Pretty good.
You sound so enthusiastic about that.
I am just, all confetti inside, obviously.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
So do you make it a habit of meeting strange dudes with recording apparatuses at Starbucks?
Actually, yeah.
Okay. It's like a hobby of yours?
It is a hobby of mine.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Sure.
I get that. Everybody needs something.
So you've got, a tall order to fill. Basically.
You've said that twice now.
I have. Actually, you said it first, then I said it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember. That's in the past. Anyways, so Emma here follows the movie on the Instagram and the Facebook and whatnot, and that's how we arranged this whole shindig. You are so let's tell us a little bit about you. I don't know a lot about you. So
right.
I know you're an artist.
Mm-hmm.
You are a person who does safety tag assembly.
Oh my god.
You and you don't sing. That's all I know. So tell us more about yourself.
So I am actually technically known as a bindery worker.
Bindery worker.
Yeah. So it doesn't all involve those things, but I can't even say it. So much animosity towards those.
One of those. So I take it you don't enjoy your work. It's not a career path that you're on.
Probably not.
Okay.
I enjoy it to an extent because sometimes it's just really easy and you don't have to think about it a whole lot. Other times it is absolutely grueling and tedious and can't stand it.
Okay. How long have you been doing it?
It's been off and on for almost 6 years, actually.
6 years?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. My dad worked there for 22 years or something like that.
Okay.
And retired, and it's like a family-owned business, and so they've known us for a really long time, and they'll just call us in whenever they need help, basically. So, yeah.
So it's easy money.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, cool. I got you.
Yeah.
So since you hate that job, what is it that you're an artist? So is that what you aspire to do? Is art?
Yeah, basically.
Or do you know what you aspire to do?
Yes. The thing is art is a very broad spectrum. There's a lot of different things you can do.
Well, then tell us what you do. I'm trying to get to know you here. The listeners are trying to get to know. You just keep talking in circles. We don't know.
Well, okay, fine. I do painting and digital work and traditional.
What do you mean by traditional? I write and I do comedy and I act and I'm silly,
right.
But I am not a painter. I don't art very well, so I don't know. Somebody's oh, I do acrylics. When I think acrylic, I think making tables. So I don't know what any of that means. Seems to me, yeah.
Very specific.
Yes.
Mostly, I do work with acrylics.
Okay. So I knew. So I knew art words.
And artsy things like that. I have used oils in the past, but they're very difficult to work with because they don't dry very fast and they're very finicky. And so I prefer to work with acrylics. And so that's the kind of painting that I do usually. And I work with like digital things. I use like an iPad and a little.
So like graphic design
pencil
stuff, or
type
like.
deal. It's not quite so technical.
Okay.
It's more like there's a program that I use to draw, and
So you're saving trees and just drawing on an iPad.
Sure, but also furthering the robot uprising. So
Anyway, it happens.
you know, it's give and take all around.
Well, I mean,
And,
the robots know we're talking, so let's be nice about this. That way they keep us alive.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we welcome you.
Yeah, robot overlords. Yeah, exactly.
But traditional to me is just anything non-digital. Like,
So let me throw this question at you.
Mhm.
What if you made a sculpture out of old iPads? Is that traditional or is that digital?
I would say that is
And all the
fusion.
iPads work.
Okay, it's fusion actually,
Okay.
especially if the
So like when you have Chinese Mexican food.
yeah,
Okay.
exactly. The best of all the
Yeah,
worlds,
right.
basically.
I get you.
Yeah. So
You get all the food poisonings.
all the things, yeah.
Okay. So you're a painter. What do you like paint still? Well, let's start at the beginning. When you paint, all right, like there's a rumor I've heard, I'm not a painter.
Mhm.
Do you have to have an afro to paint? Like, because I mean, I know Bob Ross.
You do.
Okay.
It is required.
And you have like shoulder length, a little bit longer shoulder, and that afro as well.
I mean, it's like a week process.
Okay.
Like, you know,
So you can only paint once
I
a
have
week.
to get in the like Bob Ross mode.
Okay.
And so that requires a lot of
And you can't do it on purpose because it has to be a happy little accident.
Yes.
Okay. I
Literally.
get you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it.
So the methods may vary as to how that's going to happen. Like
Elmer's
sticking
glue.
a fork into an electrical socket. That was
Okay.
my last method. And, you know,
That's hell on the power bill, I can imagine.
oh, it is.
Um,
But for the sake of art.
Yeah, it's art.
Yeah, exactly.
What was the last thing you painted?
The last thing I painted, it's actually been a really long time.
Time is subjective. Like, really long time since I had coffee was like a minute ago, and I'm craving it, and it feels like decades.
True.
So
It is. Okay, so the last time I painted something, it's been more than 6 months, probably.
why?
It's very time consuming.
It is, but I mean, isn't it something like you can do a little bit every day, or are you one of those people that have to start and you can't stop until you're done?
I do want to do a little bit every day, but it's like it takes up a lot of space. I have like this giant bin full of paint and brushes and canvas and things like that, and I like set it out with all my stuff, and I have to have everything like in its place. And then
One of those people.
unfortunately,
Okay, I got you.
But I mean, messier at the same
Well,
time.
most artists
like,
are messy to a certain extent, but
Yeah.
a lot of artists that I know in all mediums have a little OCD.
yeah,
So
definitely.
yeah.
So it takes up basically the entire dining room table, and sometimes it's not appreciated by everyone
Yeah, well.
in the living area. And
When I was a kid, by kid I mean like 14, I rebuilt a transmission in my dining room of my house.
Monster smarty pants.
Yeah, and that was not appreciated by everybody either who shared the living space. So I understand.
Right.
Yeah, I get that. Okay, so as an artist, I'm going to call us both artists. Like I struggle with calling myself an artist. I mean, I'm making a movie and I do comedy and stuff that I don't call myself an actor or filmmaker or
Honestly,
comedian.
anything can be an art, and you
I
can
agree.
basically be an artist. Like even if you're super obsessed with stacking napkins and you got it down to an art form, that makes you an artist at that point. So,
Logically, that makes sense to me, but to me, I don't feel like I deserve to call myself an artist.
I understand.
So so I struggle with that, and so I wonder, as an artist, do you struggle with any sort of like? For me, it's all. Well, I have bad bouts of depression and anxiety, but that's all like on top of really bad ADHD is what they call it, attention deficit hyperactive impulsiveness disorder.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't even know that was a thing until last year. So so that's my thing.
Fun.
And with a little bit of self-destructive behavior and OCD on certain things.
Just to make it interesting.
Yeah. I'm a medley of messed up. That's what I am. So I mean, I wonder. I mean, you knew this was coming. That's what the whole podcast is about. What is it that makes you tick or not tick, or if you feel comfortable talking about it?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Good, because you have no choice.
Yeah, exactly. I honestly, there's a lot of things. I feel like being an artist
we got time.
is a mishmash, completely, like you said, a medley of that stuff, basically. I struggle a lot with just, I don't know, it's a very intimate thing, really, to share your art.
I understand.
Because I'm sure you do, yeah. Because you're literally letting someone like see inside your brain, like
the truest part of you.
Yeah, exactly. And basically, it's what I've done my whole life. Like how I communicate, how I, do everything. Basically, is through my art. And sometimes it says more about me than I actually admit. I'll be like, that's just a thing that I drew.
Yeah.
It's not deep at all.
It's nothing. I get you.
And when people don't understand, I'm like, I'm not gonna explain that.
I got you.
Yeah. So
Do you find yourself frustrated when you express yourself through art and people don't get it, and then you're frustrated at them, even though you don't explain it? You're like, well, these people are stupid. And why don't you get it? And then if they get frustrated at you, you're like, I fucking told you. You just didn't pay attention.
It really depends on their attitude in their confusion. If they're kind of in this kind of like wistful confusion, like, I don't really know what's going on here, but I like it. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Like, I don't mind that. But if they're kind of aggressive about it, sometimes it can, I'm like, I'm definitely not going to explain it if you're super
it shuts you down. I get you. Yeah, I get it.
But honestly, as long as they had an experience of some kind, like, I just have to be good with it. Like, for the longest time, that is one of the biggest things I struggled with, was caring way too much what other people thought.
Right.
And if they understood or if they didn't, and if it was clear. And so I was just like, I just have to let go of that, basically. And, I read this thing one time that was like, the biggest enemy of art and love is not hatred, it's indifference.
Right.
So I'm like, if they, had an experience at all and they didn't feel like, that's
well, and that's something that I learned years ago. I forget, somebody had said it on my old podcast that I had, which was a straight comedy podcast. Your job as an actor, as a comedian, is to make somebody feel something. Doesn't matter what they feel. Like, you shouldn't get pissed off when people get up outraged and walk out of the theater, because you did your job. You made them feel something, even if it's hatred to go key your car.
Exactly.
It's still you made them feel an emotion. So I've had to accept that, because not all my comedy is for everybody.
Right.
Some people hate mini horses. I don't know why, but I start saying mini horse jokes. They get outraged, and I don't know, but they leave.
Those dang mini horses don't have the nerve to be regular size.
Yeah, but now I can look back. I'm like, well, I made them feel some sort of emotion, so I did my job, and I'm, okay, cool. So I get having to get past that frustration of, even if they don't get the intended emotion that I mean.
Also, it's generally a very individualized experience. And so it's like, you want them to have their own experience and their own perspective. And I've kind of learned to be a little bit open about, like, just accepting whatever their perspective is, be it good or bad or whatever.
And when I was super young, when I would get critiqued or whatnot, I would take it personally. And just because somebody said something, I thought that they were right. And that's not necessarily true.
I feel
it's just,
that.
So now it's like, you might think I need to change this. I had this contentious moment when making this movie that several people who read it were like, you need to change the ending. And I'm like, no. And so, like, if I was younger, I'd be like, oh, okay, I understand what you're saying. But if I had done that, if I'd fallen into that peer pressure, it wouldn't have made it my movie. It would have made it just another run of the mill. I'm not gonna spoil it for anybody since it's not out yet, but it's a doozy. Just saying, bring your barf bags, and if you have epilepsy, you don't want to watch it.
Oh, wow. Sounds like a good time.
It's rough, It's complete 180 there.
I'm sensing some, Chainsaw Massacre vibes.
Oh no, no, not that bad. I think more War of the Worlds meets Tropic Thunder meets Tommy Boy with a little bit of Aqua Bats and Aqua Teen Hunger Form mixed in.
Sounds great.
Yeah, that's it. So you haven't painted in 6 months. Do you write? Do you do any other form of art?
Yes. Honestly, I kind of want to try all of the arts, really.
All of the arts?
All of the
like
things.
Ballet?
I mean, yeah, sure.
Okay, cool. I used to take up ballroom dancing.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, fancy.
I know,
I
right?
actually did take ballet for.
Did you really?
Yeah, I was like really, really young, and then my teacher moved to the beach or something, and yeah.
And she was the only teacher in the world. So I
Apparently.
couldn't continue. I get
Yeah,
you.
but also I was a complete weirdo and kept distracting
Yeah.
all the other kids in the class with my own dance moves. And
Like you should. Yeah. I did the same thing with a Men in Black
Right.
dance routine I had in middle school. So it's a thing.
there you
I
go.
understand.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you know? Okay, I know you said I haven't painted in 6 months because I have to move a box of stuff and move. Is that the only reason, or is it like to me, like I go through these bouts of, and I like to call it writer's block or whatever, but at the end of the day, it's basically depression and me hating myself. So
Yeah,
anything that I
yeah.
do is going to be shit. So I just don't want
absolutely
to.
understand
Yeah,
that.
I don't want to put myself through that,
Yeah.
and I recognize that. Did you have that same issue?
Yes, sometimes. Yeah. My biggest thing, besides just it takes effort and time, is I often, it's not my main medium. And so I'm always experimenting when I'm painting, basically. It's always kind of like, I don't know how this is going to turn out, so I have to just keep an open mind
Right.
and hope for the best. And so if I'm not really ready to like be that open and accepting of myself and my art, then I don't do that.
Right.
Basically.
So you just don't even do it at all.
I mean, I've been wanting to paint a lot recently, so it's like I'm coming back to it, but sometimes I just put it on the shelf and leave it there.
Okay. So, okay,
Yeah.
like I've written, like we counted it up a couple weeks ago, over almost 200 scripts.
Wow.
Like, yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
And people like my closest friends have only read 2 of them. Because I write it and I just like, this is stupid. I hate this. I want to burn it, but I
Yeah,
can't.
yeah.
So I just put it away. Do you have like a stash of art somewhere that nobody has ever seen?
Yes, actually, I do. In fact, there's an entire drawer in this little chest in my closet that is just old crap art that I keep in there, and nobody ever sees it. Like, my parents have probably seen it because it's like a collection from a lot of different ages where I'd be like, hey, look at this bull crap, and they're like, oh, it's great, even though it's totally not.
That's a sea turtle. No, it's a rhino. I hate you, Mom. That type of situation.
No, it was more like, oh, wow, is that spaghetti? And I was like, I was hungry, okay? It's fine, whatever.
It happens, yeah.
No, it happens.
Have you, over the years, has that gotten better? Like, do you show more people? Like, do you have like your little brain trust of people that you can show things to, or no?
Sometimes. Honestly, it depends on my mood, I guess. I let people actually look in my sketchbooks now. Usually I was like,
I could never do that. Like, I have
I
sketchbooks
would like
and stuff.
hoard it and like hiss
Yeah.
if anyone came close. I'm like, no, you
Yeah.
can't look at it. Like, because it's probably more personal than like a journal or anything like that.
Yeah, I can
because
see
it's
that.
literally like,
Stop messing stuff up. There you go.
it's natural. I'm sorry. So I started kind of doing that. Only if someone seems genuinely interested.
How do you gauge genuine interest?
It's,
Like, hey, can I see it?
sometimes
it's cool.
it's like a vibe. Like if someone kind of like approaches me in a way where they're like kind of curious, and you kind of feel like maybe they don't really want to ask,
Yeah,
but
they're just doing it to like,
really-
oh, yeah, I need to be nice. Trying to get you to ask about their stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, I get you.
And sometimes though, if they've just always been a huge supporter of my art, then I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
you can. It's cool. It's fine.
And you have an art Instagram.
Yes.
What's your username?
It's EK Duncan Arts. And
At EK Duncan Arts.
Yes.
You gotta say it louder.
E.K. Duncan Arts.
Okay, I'll link it in the subscription or the
Thank you.
the subscription, the description. There you go. It's one of those things.
Yeah, those
Yeah,
things.
okay. So people can check it out. I checked it out.
Mhm.
You know, adequate.
Adequate, yeah.
No, it's just
That's
good.
what I expected.
Yeah, no, it's good, and you have a lot of stuff on there. It's I like it. It's
Thanks.
cool. I couldn't do any of that, so I admire
I
people who can do stuff like that.
Basically hate my art Instagram on like most days of the week.
Oh yeah, same thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, this is crap.
yeah.
And I hate it.
I hate social media in general. And if I wasn't a comedian / movie maker and stuff like that,
Mhm.
I wouldn't be doing it. Like I hate it like so much. Like my personal one, I post maybe once every couple weeks.
Right.
I think last night was the first time I posted on it. Probably a month, I feel like, and that's just because Jacques Benson and I
Mhm.
and the Hot Flash Players did a charity
Right.
show in Davidson County, and I got to dress up as a cowboy. with a ridiculous mustache. So
with a mustache like that, you can't keep it private.
I know. Well, I mean, originally the mustache was like it hung down here, but I sweated off the glue, and so I needed to keep it on, so I wrapped it around my ears. Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, very creative.
Yeah. You know, it happens. And then I moved it up to as a unibrow when I was eating because they provided dinner. So
nice.
couldn't just take it off. That's ridiculous.
Exactly.
I'd lose it.
Yeah.
Then
you're just like Rita Kahlo. Like,
exactly.
You know,
and I don't want to
incarnated.
Be except slightly taller.
Yeah,
other than that, identical.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Right, so, so when's the last time you wrote anything?
Actually, like a few days ago.
Oh, see, there you go. What'd you write?
I'm actually writing a book.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
And you're like one of, 5 people that know about it now.
Well, there's going to be at least 2 more when they listen to this.
For sure. So join the club. It's great. Okay, so still very much a work in progress. But,
what is it about? What kind of book? You don't have to give me all the details. Just like, is it a kid's book? Is it a book about trees?
Actually, kind of.
The kid's book about trees?
No.
Oh.
Okay, not like, it's not a kid's book necessarily. I want it to be like, kind of for a lot of people. Like, kids could get into it, but also like everyone could find a deeper meaning in it if they wanted to. Just be very like inclusive. Because honestly, I feel like with a really good story, just about anyone could find a meaning.
I agree.
In it, basically.
So what you're saying is there's no nudity or F-bombs in it?
Not yet.
Okay, cool.
Not
so,
yet. But keeping it open.
Yeah, you don't want to restrict yourself.
Draft, you never really know. Yeah.
How long have you been working on the book?
I've been working on the concept for almost 2 years, actually. But I'm just now getting around to like actually really writing it out and things like that.
Have you set yourself a date to get it done by?
I keep trying to.
Okay. I like deadlines that nobody else knows about though.
Yeah,
like I don't want to put a deadline out there. Yeah.
I do that too because I'm like, no one can hold me accountable for this. It's all
which is stupid. It's a horrible cycle.
It's so dumb.
Yeah. I get
and then it's like I was like, oh, I was really busy. Obviously.
Excuses and stuff. Yeah, I get you. So you're working on a book. You paint. Okay, so I mean, you're awkward as hell, just like me.
100%.
So how is that like? Do you get super anxious?
About or just in general?
Just in general.
Yeah, basically.
Like, have you ever had like a panic attack, an anxiety attack, or anything like that?
Yes.
Right.
It's happened several times in my life, but usually it was surrounding like certain social interactions, like
high stress or like prom.
Never been to prom actually.
Oh, okay.
Fun fact: I was homeschooled. Actually.
Yeah, I can feel it. Yeah.
Like, ooh, other people. What?
Well, that's going to lead into my social anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
So I was not homeschooled. I went to the public schools in North Carolina.
Oh, evil!
I know, right? But I still have horrible like social anxiety. I hate being around people, which is weird because I've performed in front of like 10,000 people before. Right. It doesn't bother me at all.
Really?
I'll be up there, no issues.
I would drop dead. Instantly.
No stage fright at all. Like I play. This is a loose interpretation of playing instruments, but I play instruments. Musician. I'll sing. I'm a horrible singer, but I'll get up in front of 10,000 people and I'll sing a shitty song. I don't care. I'll tell bad jokes. I'll do a play dressed as a woman. Doesn't bother me at all. But you put me in a room with like 6 other people where I have to talk to them, I freak out.
See, I am the exact opposite, actually.
Really?
Like, huge crowds of people make me feel really nervous. And
I don't want to be in the crowd.
Terrified.
Yeah,
okay,
I don't do that.
Being set apart is one thing, but also, like, the stage, like, absolutely horrifies me.
Stage fright?
Yeah.
So you've never performed at all?
No, not at all.
Not even when you took ballet and stuff? You didn't, like, do a recital?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Not to each their own, I guess.
I mean, we hardly got to that point. I was probably in there for, like,
6 days.
3 months?
Oh, okay. So, well, you should know all of ballet in 3 months. It's all the same.
100%.
You spin around and stand on your toes, right?
I mean, did you not see how graceful I was?
I know.
Walking all the time.
Yeah, you only fell 6 times in 12 feet.
Basically.
Yeah. So social anxiety plays so I don't get being able to talk to people. I just don't. Because whenever I talk to people, I feel like I'm being super fake and I'm wearing a mask and stuff. That's why I'm not super close to anybody. Mm-hmm. So how has that affected being homeschooled? I feel like that's got to have affected it somehow.
Well, when you're homeschooled, you're around your family a lot.
Yeah.
And me and my siblings are pretty close.
How many siblings do you have?
6.
Me too.
Really?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm the youngest, actually.
I am not. I'm the middle child.
Right.
Yeah.
That explains things.
Yeah.
And so, honestly, since we're all really different ages, we socialize with each other, and it taught me to be able to relate to a lot of different age groups.
Cool.
So, I, of course, can be sociable. I don't sometimes choose to be sociable.
It's exhausting.
It is. And so I feel like that aspect hasn't really affected me as much as people might assume.
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh, you're homeschooled.
I know
so
several
you're like
homeschoolers.
you're a backward hick person that doesn't know how to."
Those are 2 separate issues. So.
I was like, banjo music follows me everywhere I go.
I have a
but I'm not
banjo
a
in
hick,
my car right
actually.
now. Okay.
I mean, that's awesome.
Banjo-lele, but whatever.
Banjo. What? Is that a thing?
Yeah, it's a ukulele banjo hybrid.
Wow, that's.
So I played it at the show last night. Yeah.
Yeah. My life
really
is further enriched by
I know.
that. Yeah.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah.
You can one day when you run for president, be like, "Hey, I know what a banjo-lele is."
Yeah.
Yes.
And they're like, "Oh yeah, you got my vote."
Yeah, you'll get the
100%.
Southern vote. You'll get the Hawaiian vote. Yeah.
All of the
The West Virginian vote. The
Perfect. That's all you
Appalachian
need.
Americans.
Basic.
Exactly. That's basically all of the voters. So in our social interactions like this,
Yeah.
does that bother you?
No. Actually, one-on-one, I do that way better.
Okay.
Like, I prefer if it's going to be like crowd type deal, small crowd is ideal,
Right.
but one-on-one is like, it's my jam.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were like I said, we just met today,
Mhm.
which is weird that you keep eye contact fairly well for somebody that I just met and somebody who claims to be awkward. Because I interviewed my buddy Fletcher, who I've known since I was 10, and he does not like eye contact. And,
Really?
we know each other very well. So it's interesting. It's like you're a weird amalgamation of awkward yet confident.
Ah,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah. You fake it till you make it.
Right. I'm confident in certain areas.
Okay.
So,
Like being able to keep your eyes open. Yes.
Yeah.
You're doing well.
See, thanks.
Yeah, I got you.
I pat myself on the back
Yeah.
often.
Yeah. I can't. It's all right. I have a sensitive back.
Ah,
So what was the last song you listened to?
the last song I listened to was "It's My Sister's Car." Actually,
Mhm.
You're gonna hate me.
Probably.
Kanye West.
Oh God.
Yes.
Nah, I'm gonna have to cut that part out because I don't even allow his name on this podcast. I
Oh,
don't.
sorry.
I don't recognize him as
The
a
dreaded
real person.
person. that
Yes.
you don't like.
I'll listen to any music in the world, but not Kanye
No.
West.
But before that, actually, I listened to Middle Earth again because
Oh, Chesky? Yeah.
yeah,
It's a good song.
it is a great song.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, it's great. I'll actually be interviewing him on this podcast.
No way.
Yeah. So
Dude, that's
yeah, I'm trying to get exposed as well, but he lives way up in Maine, so
Right.
we'll see. But he's in the movie, so
Yeah,
he'll win.
just whatever.
Yeah, I know,
So
right?
casual.
I mingle with the stars.
I rub elbows
Yes.
with awesome people.
Yeah,
Such.
I do. It's great, actually. I don't take
Yeah.
that for granted.
Okay.
What's the last movie you watched
The last movie I watched.
besides that weird killer documentary?
Okay. The last movie. John Wick 3, I think, was the last one. I
Interesting.
can't believe it's been a week since I saw any movies. Like,
Yeah.
what?
Well, you need to be more of a slacker and
I
sit on your ass
do.
and do nothing. Oh man. Well, so is there anything else you would like to add about your art, about your mental health struggles? Any words of wisdom for other people who might be going through the same thing?
Words of wisdom.
Yes.
Well,
Just a reminder, these words of wisdom have to be wise.
Right. Well,
Okay.
I never claim to be wise.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Pressure's on.
Okay, great. Basically, my advice to anyone that struggles with anything in their lives is just the struggle is honestly what life is all about, I think. There can be no life without sadness. And
You can't appreciate the good without the bad.
exactly. And so sometimes it just takes embracing that and fighting through it and just never giving up on yourself and the people around you. So
Never give up, never surrender. Tim Allen said that.
yeah.
Yes. And I'll add Life's a Garden, dig it.
Yeah.
Keep on keeping on. and you can't have hate in your heart.
Man, you've got all the good ones.
I know. You know who said those? Joe Dirt. All three of those right there. I know.
Don't try to church it up. So your
Exactly.
dad was really hated you.
Dirt Day. So yeah.
That's why they call you Joe Dirt.
Yeah, exactly. So it was. I grew up without much of a family, so
Right.
I got a lot of my knowledge from movies. So
I mean, I did grow up with family, but
You
we
still-
love movies.
yeah, I know,
so,
right?
yeah.
So,
We once got in trouble for quoting movies at the table too much.
yeah, well, it happens.
It happened.
Everything I say is a movie quote, some way or another.
Basically,
Yeah,
same.
I get it. Or musical lyrics. Like my buddy Chris and I, we drove to Myrtle Beach
Mm-hmm.
right after high school. I think the entire way we spoke in nothing but musical lyrics.
That is pretty awesome.
It was interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sounds like
And
it.
then went down the way back. That was right when one of the Linkin Park albums just came out, and we were just like jamming the whole time.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's everything.
And he didn't have his license at the time, but I was tired, so I let him drive. And I
Mhm.
woke up to him like falling asleep going into oncoming traffic. I was
Oh,
like,
wow.
"Oh, that's unfortunate."
Sounds like a good
Yeah,
time.
so we didn't die. So
Oh,
just so you know,
well,
in case you were wondering.
I was wondering,
Yeah,
actually. Yeah.
we're both alive.
Oh, good.
Mostly me. But yeah, we're both alive. Cool. Awesome. So, yeah. So if you have nothing else to add, we're gonna slowly taper off until like somewhere where I can edit it to make it sound professional, and then we're gonna come back and do a little game of We're Not Really Strangers. Okay. Well, you wanna? We can. So I don't have to do it later. You wanna just like slowly fade out in your voice?
I am super ready. Okay.
Cool. I appreciate that. Cool. Okay, we are back with Emma Duncan. We're about to play We're Not Really Strangers. I briefly kind of told her how this game works, so we're going to see how this goes. So how do you want to decide who goes first?
I know.
Okay. I'm thinking of a number between 1 and infinity. What is it?
7.
Exactly wrong. I'll ask you the first question. You ready for this?
Yeah.
So round 1 is perception.
Uh-huh.
And this is going to be interesting because I don't really know you. So
Yeah,
I mean, you don't
awesome.
know me. So
I
this-
mean, that's the point of the game.
yeah, exactly. But I played this with people that I do. I've known like Fletcher for like 20 years, and I learned new things about him too. So imagine
Sure.
what you can learn.
Right?
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Okay. Okay. Question 1. Do you think I've ever checked an ex's phone for evidence?
I feel like that's very circumstantial. Like,
Okay.
first of all, if you thought maybe they murdered someone for the safety of the human race, you might check for evidence.
I mean, I'm not, but it doesn't ask. Do you think I would under certain conditions? Do you think, like, from what you've known about me for the last 45 minutes, do you think that I ever have for any reason?
I would say no.
You're right. I never have.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That would be embarrassing if I was wrong.
No, I mean, I would have just cried and said, "What do you think I'm a monster?"
Right.
No, I never have, and I probably never will. It's not that I don't
Okay.
care,
Yeah.
but I would never be with anybody I didn't trust anyway.
Yeah.
Also,
Well, that makes perfect sense.
I don't have a password on my phone most times because I don't remember it. So how am I going to remember theirs?
Right.
Yeah, it's like that's just stupid. It's impractical.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your turn. Ask me
Okay.
my first level one.
Do you think I fall in love easily? Why or why not?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I feel like you're a romantic at heart. You don't necessarily tell them,
Mhm.
but I feel like you're a romantic at heart, and that even if you do, you're like, you like me. You have a little notebook at home. You put your last name, their last
Mhm.
name on yours. You know that type of situation. I do it all the time. I have a whole giant notebook at home that
Mhm.
says Jacques Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds is a hottie. I can't help it.
Right. I feel that. I feel
Jacques
that.
Swift. Taylor Swift's my future ex-wife.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I think so. I think
Yeah.
even if you never tell them.
That is pretty accurate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, see.
Except I also don't trust a lot of people, so
Exactly.
I'd be keeping them at
Oh yeah,
arm's
definitely.
length for a really long
Well,
time.
you can be in love with somebody and still not trust them.
Yeah.
I mean,
True.
yeah, it's weird. The heart
Yeah.
wants what it wants, but
It does.
sometimes the mind has to be like, nah, bitch.
Right.
Okay, what about me is most strange or unfamiliar to you? You can't say my beard.
I was not going to say
Yeah,
that
okay,
actually. Honestly, I think it's probably how you seem very open, but you also say that you're not.
Oh, it's all a mask.
Yeah.
Like I do this. This is my my radio host personality.
Right.
Like I try to be charismatic
Mhm.
and open,
Yeah.
and see, if you talk in a happy tone, like I could be like, "Oh, I just murdered your entire family." I know, right?
Great.
Let your dog on fire. But see, it's like
okay,
disarming.
when you get to the dog part, though,
see,
we got a problem.
Well, but you wouldn't like. You didn't stop you immediately because I said it in a charismatic voice. You know,
Exactly.
Okay, I can see that. I get that a lot. Actually,
it's like slightly disarming, a little comforting, but also like.
Right. Yeah. You know, there's something back there.
Yeah,
like it's like, what's he hiding?
Exactly.
Like, is he hiding, deep depression, or is he hiding the fact that he has 7 bodies in his car?
I mean,
which can't happen. My car's so tiny, though. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I get that. Your turn.
Okay. What about me intrigues you?
Intrigues. Well, I like artists in general. Like, so the fact that you can make something go from your brain to your hand and onto a canvas is intriguing to me.
Yeah.
Like, because I don't have that skill,
right.
Which is weird because I used to be a mechanical engineer, and I can draw you a building down to a millimeter accurately, like or like a machine part.
Yeah,
I can do that. Don't struggle at all. You try to get me to paint a tree or a fucking bird or something, like it's like voodoo to me. I'm like, whoa, it's so scary. So that's intriguing. Your creativity does, yeah.
Good answer.
Yeah. Let's see, number 3. If MySpace were still a thing, is MySpace a thing still?
I think it might be. It's like the deep, dark corners of the web.
Maybe. If MySpace were still a thing, what would my profile song be?
Wow. Okay. I feel like probably hip hop. And that would be a tough one, honestly.
Think deep.
Think deep. Actually, it would be "I Want to Dance with Somebody" by Whitney Houston.
It probably would be. Yes, it would be something like that. Yeah. Is that because I was singing it a little while ago? Is that why you made you think that? Yeah,
maybe.
Probably.
But also, it just fit you.
It does.
Well. Yeah. I was like, you got a Whitney Houston, but
I have a Houston heart.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's fine.
All right. Do you think I'm usually early, on time, or late to events? Explain.
I would say late.
Yes, I was late today. I always say I'm fashionably late, so it sounds interesting when in reality I just can't get my crap together.
Sorry. Okay, you just explained it, so
exactly.
I don't even have to.
Right.
We're gonna do 5 questions on this round, so
cool.
Yeah. What subject do you think I thrived in at school? Did I fail any?
Well, you just said that you're very technically minded, so I would think math would be very good.
Yeah.
And you're a writer, so you're probably pretty good in English. I don't think you really failed any.
I didn't. Honestly. No. Yeah. Never failed anything.
So yeah.
Okay.
Strike me as a smart person.
Adequate.
For the most part.
For the most part.
Haven't seen everything yet.
Your turn.
Okay. Do I seem like more of a creative or an analytical type?
I would go creative.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I feel like you have the capability of being analytical, but you're very artistic. So I think that
I feel like I'm split just enough to make it difficult for myself.
Yeah, I feel like you want to follow your heart most times, but your brain stops you most times.
Very accurate. Very
accurate. I got you. Okay, this is your last level 1.
All right.
Oh, wild card. We're gonna switch stuff. Okay. That one, nope.
Mm-hmm.
The hell? There we go. Who do you think my celebrity crush is? And you can't use either one that I already said.
Dadgummit. Okay. Beyonce.
No.
Dang it. I feel like everyone has a crush on Beyonce.
No, I'm not a Beyonce fan.
Okay.
I'm not a bee.
I mean, truthfully, I'm not super into her either.
No.
But
So,
I was hoping that you'd be super stereotypical, I guess.
Nope.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
You got any other guesses?
Ooh, okay,
Yeah,
so I get a second guess.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah. I'll give you a second guess.
Right.
So Taylor Swift and Ryan Reynolds are off the table. We know that.
Dang it.
Yeah.
What about Hugh Jackman?
I do like Hugh Jackman, but he's not a celebrity crush. He's just somebody that I could probably see myself marrying. It's not like a crush. That's like a super deep thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So, so I would have to say that if I had to choose somebody right now, it would be Camila Rescio.
Ooh.
She's a singer. I'm huge into singers.
Right. I understand that.
Yeah, so Camila Rescio is probably and she's not like a huge celebrity. She's like an independent artist, but it counts.
I mean, those ones are like deep though.
Yeah.
You know?
And then if I had to go like super celebrity or somebody, I would say Helen Mirren.
Oh yeah. I feel that.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay. What's the first thing you noticed about me?
Two things. So the first most obvious thing is how awkward you are.
Oh yeah.
Like very, very awkward.
100%. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no, you're fine. And also you're tall.
Yes.
Yeah, so those are probably the two
I
things.
told you I was not little, but you assumed that I was.
Anybody who weighs less than me is technically little in my book. Yeah, so I mean, so most people
told you
are
I was a tall order, man.
Yeah, that's all right. No, it's cool. It's cool. Tall is good. Okay, that was level 1. What do you think? That was easy, right?
That's fine. Yeah,
Easy.
I liked it.
Easy. Nobody died.
Nobody died. We're
Okay.
good.
There we go. Now we're gonna go to level 2. Things are gonna get a little spooky. I know you're excited.
Oh yeah.
This is about
Super
connection.
excited.
So these are a little bit deeper questions. Just by the name of the round, connection. You would think. You ready? Cool. How are you, really? 100% honest.
I am good, actually.
Good?
Yeah.
Just good?
I mean, I think so.
Okay.
You got me a coffee. We're outside, enjoying ourselves.
Yeah, we're doing a
cool
podcast.
stuff.
Yeah.
I'd say that's pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll take it.
Cool.
I feel like you're hesitant a little bit, but I will take it. Go ahead and ask me a question. It's all right.
When you're asked how you are, how often do you answer truthfully?
Never.
That's what I figured.
Yeah, never. Ever. Yeah. Yeah.
I honestly always think that you're straight up lying every time I ask, but I don't push it.
It's all right.
Usually.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. Because nobody really, like, 99.9% of the time, nobody really cares. It's just like one of those, how are you? Or, hey, your hand's on fire. You know, one of those things that you just say to be nice, I feel like.
Except I don't do that.
Yeah, well.
Usually.
Well, I just met you, so I don't know that. Okay.
Well, now you know.
Okay, finish this sentence. Or finish the sentences, excuse me. Strangers would describe me as blank. Only I know that I am blank.
Okay. Strangers would describe me as cold. Only I know that I'm actually super soft and not cold at all.
That's accurate.
Yeah.
That's accurate. I'll take it. Go ahead.
What do you crave more of?
That's the whole question?
Yeah.
What do I crave more of? I would say intimacy. And not like physical, like, I mean, that too, but like just like connection with somebody, more of an intimate connection with somebody.
Yeah.
Which I have a hard time allowing. So, yeah.
Completely understand.
Yeah. That would be it.
Cool.
Wild card. What's your father's name? And tell me one thing about him.
His name is Eugene Duncan.
Eugene?
Yeah. Eugene Roscoe Duncan the second.
That's a nice name.
Yeah. It's
a hearty
great
name, yeah.
His signature is amazing, and it's a weird thing to notice about a person. But
I thought you were about to say his signature move. I was like, is he a fucking wrestler? Because that would be
his signature move is
it's called the Roscoe
pile
Bomb.
He's actually very artistic as well, and I feel like I get a lot of my artistic ways from him. Actually,
Interesting.
Yeah.
Cool. I like it.
How do you describe the feeling of being in love in one word?
One word. That's a tough one. I'm a man of not small amount of words. I could have just said brevity, but I didn't. Just proved my point.
Right.
One word. Chaotic.
Yeah.
I go chaotic.
Pretty accurate.
Yeah. So, Let's see. Oh, no, we can do that one. Think of something you strongly dislike that most people love. On the count of 3, say it out loud. Both players.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
let me think. Okay, ready?
Mhm.
1, 2, 3. Holding babies.
Saxophone.
Okay. Yeah, saxophone is a thing. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And holding babies, like I like hold when my nephew was a baby, I'd hold him. But like people are always like, "Oh, you want to hold my baby?" No, I don't.
Sometimes feel like they're kind of aggressive about it.
Yeah, they
I
are.
don't really like that.
Like, it's okay. You can hold it. It's like I don't feel like I'm gonna kill this baby. I
Like,
know I can.
yeah.
I'm capable of it.
Yeah.
But I don't want to hold your poop machine. I mean, that's stupid. That's like, oh,
Yeah.
here, hold this murder weapon. It's the same thing. I don't want anything uncomfortable in my possession.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
just-
I get that.
Yeah. Cool. Your turn.
All right. Is there a feeling you miss?
Ignorance. Like as a kid, like not knowing things and not being affected by certain things. Like when, you know, say for like, I remember like on TV, like when I was real young, OJ Simpson, you know, and the white Bronco going down the road. And I remember like Bill Clinton getting in trouble for getting a blowjob.
Right.
But to me, I was like, oh, people on TV.
Cool, whatever.
Yeah. So it's just like, that ignorance that only comes with the innocence of
I
being a child.
completely understand that.
Yeah. That's nice. This is your last level 2.
Sweet.
If you could have it your way, who would you be with? Where would you be? And what would you be doing?
Wow.
That's like an intense,
I was gonna say, it's
multi-part. And you can't say, right here with you, Jack, doing this exact same. That's a cop-out.
Okay, I was not gonna say that.
I'm just saying. I
I'm
didn't say
way
you
more
were.
original than that. Thank you very much. Does like emotionally count instead of like a physical place?
Yeah, interpret it how you will.
Okay, so probably with my dogs. I was gonna be with some. My dogs count.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think happiness can affect a lot of things. So no matter where you are in the world, if you're genuinely happy, it really doesn't matter.
It's kind of a cop-out answer, but I understand what you're saying.
Kind of. But I could have said like, I don't know, the Alps in a cute little cabin
No, okay.
with Hugh Jackman. He's cheating on you with me, so.
Son of a bitch.
Yep. Exactly.
And he's cheating on his wife, both of us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But we're worth
yeah,
it.
exactly.
It's fine, yeah.
It reminds me of several years ago, I have a friend named Tim who's actually in the movie too. And he was having some issues, like mental health issues and whatnot, and struggling. And he was talking about running away. And I don't even know why I said this, but like my first thought was, great, you should run away, but remember, wherever you go, you're going to be there, and you're your biggest fucking issue right now.
Oh my God.
And I know, right? Yeah. And I was like, and then like when I said it, it like affected me.
Yeah,
like,
you're like, I just hurt myself.
Oh my God. It was like a realization. And it's weird. I'm great at giving other people advice, but then oftentimes the advice I give them has a very relevant application to myself.
Yeah,
and I'm like, oh shit, what am I doing? Yeah, I get that.
Why did I say that? Oh my God.
One more level 2 for me.
If you have, when was the moment you realized you weren't invincible?
I've had several of those. Like, because I get, like, every time I have a moment of invincibility, like where I feel like I'm mortal, then I get cocky again. Because I'm like, fuck this. Okay.
Right.
Like right now, currently, I have 6 broken teeth.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because since March, because I've been grinding my teeth in my sleep when I sleep from stress and stuff. And
I do that too, actually.
I've gone through like a mouth guard. Like it went through a mouth guard. And since March, I've broken 6 teeth and I have to have surgery.
That sounds super fun.
And that's one of those things, like, I haven't had a surgery since I was like in middle school or whatever. You know, well, it's been since, I don't know. Timelines are weird for me.
Yeah.
So every time something like medical happens, I'm like, oh fuck, Unbreakable. I'm not Bruce Willis from Unbreakable.
Right.
You know? So, but the first time was probably, I don't know. It's hard. I'm just gonna. I can't remember the exact first time, but I'd say like my first motorcycle wreck.
Oh yeah. I mean, that ought to do it.
Yeah. but it wasn't my fault. And I got back up on a motorcycle right after,
yeah.
but probably that. And then I got cocky again.
Oh, yeah.
And when so yeah, I'd say that, but it's constant.
Right.
Like I feel super invincible, and then I dislocate my shoulder, and then I'm like, okay, that healed. I'm feeling invincible again, and then I get a paper cut. And I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna die. Yeah, so like that. Okay, so we're at level 3, reflection. So this is all about more connection and also using the information that we gained from knowing each other for an hour.
Oh,
now.
wow.
Like we met out an hour ago.
We go way back.
I know. Remember back in the day when we got coffee together?
Right?
Yeah,
That was
the
great.
first time. Okay, so level 3, give each other nicknames. Give me a nickname, and then I'll give you one.
Jacques.
That's just saying my name wrong. That's not,
Okay, fine.
yeah, this is great for radio.
Oh yeah.
The awkward
Just
silence.
listen to me think.
Yeah.
It's great.
I know, right? So what you think? It's whatever.
Ginger snap.
Ginger snap. Okay, I can see that. The red beard. I would say you're Stairmaster, but like STARE because you're good at eye contact. Yeah,
Thanks.
and it makes you a master of it. So it's like giving you power.
Oh yeah.
Like you're like
Super
a superhero basically.
Yeah,
So Stairmaster.
great.
Okay.
Where's my cape though?
You know, well, I mean, you should have like eye capes, like a couple of capes over your eyeballs.
Yeah, for sure. That'd be
Your turn.
In one word, how would you describe our conversation?
Legendary.
Oh yeah.
It is. It's pretty legendary. I would say epic, but I think that's overused.
Yes,
so
I agree.
legendary, or one word is hard. So yeah, legendary. We'll go legendary.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds good.
Yeah. What parts of yourself do you see in me?
There's actually lots of things.
Yeah, what's the most prominent? This third round, you're getting awful quiet. You know,
It's
I'm
called
gonna have to cut
reflection.
I'm gonna have to cut
isn't
these
it?
silence. Yeah, I guess I have to put little bits of music, some Jeopardy
I mean,
music.
I could just
say the first thing. No,
whatever pops into my head.
I want real answers though.
Okay. Yeah. Exactly. So you have to like think.
I get it.
I would say you also have a lot of artistic energy.
I take that as a compliment. I like that. I feel like I do most days.
Yeah.
Even if it's dormant or just
Sure.
tired.
I mean, you're an artist, even if you're a tired, dormant artist.
Exactly. Just like dinosaurs are still real, even if they're dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Truth.
I got you. It's your turn. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you asked me. Sorry, I know.
God, still my cards. God. This is a wild card. Yeah. Yes. What do you what do you recommend I let go of, if anything?
I would say you should let go of your. I can't think of a good word for it, but your self-consciousness, your low self-esteem, your low opinion of yourself and or your abilities, and realize that you have a lot to offer, and to just be confident. Your lack of confidence, I guess.
Right.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
I mean, I could say the same about you.
Yeah, well, it's not your place to, because that was my question.
Well,
so
I'm
whatever.
taking that place and saying it anyways.
Win in this game, and we're going to expand that. Win in, since you've known me for an hour
Right.
in this podcast or game, did you feel most connected to me?
I feel like it's been a pretty constant thing. Really.
There's not been a peak of some sort, because you have to
I
say
don't know.
yes,
I
and there
feel
has to be
like
something.
The
So I'm-
Hugh Jackman thing. was-
right? Yeah, that was thing. Yeah,
pretty-
but that's a universal thing. I feel
Yeah,
like.
that's what I feel like too.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's lots of good moments though.
Yeah, so pick one.
Okay.
I'm not gonna let you get out of this.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Told you this was gonna be intense.
Yeah, sure. I can hang. It's
Okay.
fine.
Yeah.
What you said about me having something to offer was pretty nice. And so
The thing that happened 10 seconds ago.
Literally,
Yeah, so you
yeah.
don't have to think further back.
Exactly,
Okay,
yeah.
I got you. I felt connected there too.
okay,
Yeah.
good.
Okay. Good. Go ahead.
Wild card.
Gotcha.
In case you were wondering
Yeah,
what that was
well,
about, Do you believe everyone has a calling? If so, do you think I found mine?
Yes, I do believe everybody has a calling. I feel like I've been asked this question several times in other podcasts, and I feel like my answer is always the same, but it's very relevant. Yes, everybody has a calling.
Yeah.
I feel like you are on the right path towards your calling, but you have not found it yet. I feel like you know kind of what you want your calling to be, but I feel like you don't know yourself or the world or your future enough to know what your calling is. Like I want to be an artist right now, but maybe you are a fucking awesome art teacher or an art mentor or something like that. So I feel like it's going to revolve around that creativity, but I don't know necessarily you'll grow into what your calling is. I feel.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty true.
Yeah.
Super wise.
Yeah. Exactly. Like when I was in second grade, I knew how to write my name.
Oh yeah.
But I'm not a professional name writer. I'm a movie writer. So it's, I kind of knew the basis of it now.
100%.
Yeah, exactly. What can we create together?
Magic.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
Anything more specific?
Well, we're both very creative people, so
That's why I said create together. Yes, that's a part of it.
I get it. Yeah, we could create just about anything. Honestly, I feel like.
Okay, let's say gun to our heads.
Yeah.
We have to create something today. What would it be?
Today.
Besides this podcast?
You would probably write a story, and I would illustrate.
Okay,
Yeah.
so like a comic book.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Or a coloring book.
Oh yeah.
That
Either
way
one.
people can make their characters whatever they want.
Yeah, exactly.
I like it.
Everyone loves customization.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Your turn.
Okay. How does one earn your vulnerability? Have I earned it, or how can I earn more?
Honestly, I have no idea because I'm not very vulnerable with anybody. And when I feel like somebody is about to earn it or getting close to it, I shut them down hard.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't know the secret to getting to know me. I don't even know me. So
Right.
I don't know. People have
Would
gotten
you
close.
ever even consider?
Oh yeah, I yearn for it. Like on a daily basis.
Right,
Like I want that more than anything. I just don't know how to achieve it.
Right. Yeah.
And once I figure it out, I'm working on myself.
Yeah, I get it.
Last, level 3. What am I most qualified to give advice about?
Wow.
Based on your knowledge of me in the past hour and 15 minutes.
Well, you've given lots of great nuggets of wisdom in the past hour, so it's a tough one, but I would say just probably on how to treat yourself, because I feel like you know what it is to not treat yourself very well, and you want people to treat themselves.
That's accurate.
So,
That's accurate.
Yeah.
Those that can't do, teach.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Your turn. Last one for me.
All right. Based on what you learned about me, does my social media accurately reflect who I am, why or why not?
Well, see, this is a not fair question, and I'm going to make you ask me another question because honestly, I looked at your art, but I have not looked at anything else. I'm
good with that.
Yeah, I don't. I'm the worst stalker in the world. Like, I do not do stuff like that. So,
Right. What do you think my superpower is? You already answered that.
yeah.
Go to the next one. No. Okay. Well,
Wow.
also, wow.
Come on,
What can I help you with?
making a podcast.
Okay. I'm going to do another.
Okay.
How would you describe me to a stranger?
Let's see. Is this physically or how is it? Or does it say? It's just
A little bit of both.
Okay, so let's see. I would describe you as tall and attractive, and you have a nice heart. You're very kind.
Oh.
You're welcoming,
Thank you.
if a little awkward. Yeah, and okay, more than a little awkward.
I warned you. I said.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
So the all black. You're wearing all black. Good shoe taste because you're wearing Converses, and so am I. Intelligent.
Thank you.
I'm assuming that I'm describing you after we've had this conversation. Like, not, I didn't know you were intelligent before, obviously. So intelligent, tall, attractive, good taste in shoes, wears all black, possible cat burglar, but with a heart of gold.
Sounds
Yes.
great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Cool. Okay. So now we have the final card.
Great.
Yes, which we'll do after the podcast.
Uh-huh.
Each player write a message to the other, fold and exchange, and only open once you two have parted. So we're going to do that,
Cool.
okay?
Sounds good.
But what do you think of the game?
I think it's fun. I like
Right? It's definitely interesting.
Yeah.
A lot of people are scared of it, and there's going to be like an expansion pack that I'm getting for it, so I can ask more and more questions to make people more and more awkward.
Sounds great.
Yeah. The people, Corrine is the name of the woman who invented
Right.
this game at we're not really strangers.com. You guys should look it up. She partnered with Bumble,
Oh, wow.
which is a dating application apparently, and they did like some sort of thing where they have like a dating expansion pack, whatever. So like they're all questions that you ask like a potential significant other, like
Right,
are you a
right.
felon? What's your credit score? I guess I don't know. I haven't
Right.
seen it, so I'm gonna get that too. I'm just gonna mix them in.
Yeah.
It's gonna mix it. Yeah, it's gonna be great. So the people have that to look forward to.
Oh,
So yeah, is there anything you want to plug? Like, what was your Instagram handle again for your art?
it was e.k.duncan arts.
Do you have like a website or was it Deviant Art or whatever?
I
that?
do not.
Okay,
Actually.
you don't. Okay, yeah. Is any of your artwork available for sale and or theft or given away for free?
Technically it is, but it is also by request. So if you send me a DM, I will make you a print
Okay,
and I will
so
sell it to you.
slide into those DMs to get some original
Right.
Emma Duncan artwork. Okay,
Basically.
she just gave you guys permission.
Yep.
So is there anything else you want to say before we sign off? Do you have a sign off?
Peace out, yo dogs.
Okay,
And that's it.
okay, we'll get to that. But is there anything you want to say before that? Before you come up with a better sign up?
Right. Just trying to be like gangster or whatever. It is.
Yeah, it doesn't work for you.
That's your opinion.
Yeah. fine.
I don't know.
You don't know. Okay, that's fair. And I'm just going to keep with the theme of what you said earlier and tell everybody to be kind to themselves and to each other. Little side tangent. I had to have a talk with my he'll be 13 on Wednesday, your old nephew yesterday about bullying, and he's being bullied at school and how to handle them. And so I gave him his 3 options. And option 1, run away from it, hide, stay home from school, which is not possible. You can't hide from it. Option 2, I told him next time he's being bullied that he should stop them
Yeah.
and say, hey, I understand how bullying works and you're being bullied or mistreated at a different level and you're acting out. I understand. Try to be the bigger man at that point, which is difficult. That's really difficult to confront. And then I told him, hey, if this continues to happen, just beat the shit out of him. No, he does have to. And everybody needs to stand up to bullies. Bullying does come from a place of hurt.
Yeah. Misery loves company.
Yeah, exactly. So once you realize that it's not personal, in me, I've bullied people in my life, mostly because I was feeling shitty about myself, and I had that small little inkling of power. I wasn't like a bully, but
It's like I think all of us have kind of been the villain in someone else's story.
Oh yeah, of course.
And we never really get a chance to explain ourselves.
Exactly. I feel like there are certain people out there who have described me with like a curly mustache, and a fucking stovetop hat, and he literally tied me to some railroad tracks, metaphorically
I can see
and
that.
literally. Yeah. No. So I had to have that talk. So everybody be kind to each other.
Yeah.
Try to understand perspectives.
Everyone should have more compassion.
Yeah, I agree. Let's go ahead and say your sign off again, I guess.
Peace out, your dogs.
All right, and I'm gonna just I'm gonna do a disappointed silence on that
Judging
one.
me.